Okay, hey guys. Hey YouTube. What's up? It's your boy Dev. I am with a friend of mine. He is actually a legend from Memphis, but also a New York legend. His name is DJ Mike Nasty. Say what up, Mike.
How's everybody doing?
This guy honestly has really shown me like what it is to be an entrepreneur as a DJ, as a promoter, as a digital ads person. He's figured out a bunch of stuff, and yeah, no, I think we met like three or 4 years ago. I was helping him get some ads set up for his parties in New York. Shout out to my boy Dylan for connecting us. And we figured out pretty quickly, or he figured out pretty quickly where to take it from there. But yeah, dude, how did you figure it out so fast? Because I feel like so many people I try to help with this stuff, and some people get it, some people don't. Some of them I continue helping them with, but you figured it out.
I feel like for me, I had a lot of people in the advertising space around me. Like a lot of my friends worked at ad agencies or are now over like global marketing at different like gaming companies and things like that. And I feel like it wasn't necessarily mentorship, but it was just me asking the right questions and just over time getting them to look at the ad campaigns I had set in place. But even before I ran into those guys, I was trying to experiment with running ads. Like back when I lived in Atlanta after I graduated from college, like I was throwing parties down there, and a friend of mine that was a business partner at the time, we were like, yo, we want to figure out a way to, I guess, capture the Atlanta market of like, early 20s to, I'll say around 30, 35, that age demographic. And we just experimented with like little $500 budgets, and it worked. And I didn't even know what I was doing at that time, but to go from there to learning about pixels and other things like that, and just
Yeah, the boring stuff. The boring stuff. Dude, this guy's life is crazy because like, he came from Memphis, producer DJ. I know some people I know out there, and I saw Memphis one time. It was crazy. Shout out to Hit Kid. But yeah, no, you came up from Memphis. What was it like 11 years ago, 12 years ago?
I've been around, bro. I went from Memphis, first 18 years of my life. Then I moved to Knoxville, where I went to the University of Tennessee, another like 4.5 years. Then I moved to Atlanta for 3 years. Then I moved to New York, and I've been here, I think 9 years now, almost 10. So I've been around.
You've seen multiple scenes. That honestly, I think that helps people if you like been around a couple of markets, right? Like you see how different markets work in different ways. But how did that Atlanta market, like the Atlanta experience, help you prepare for like this New York experience?
I feel like Atlanta taught me politics of the music industry.
Crazy. Anything specific in there that you want to like that you can mention?
Just how to move, whether it be navigating egos or like older guys in the industry that feel a way about the younger guys coming up and gaining a lot of steam quite fast. Just learning how to navigate that and just realizing that your biggest tool is building your own entity. And I watch so many DJs run behind promoters and rappers and other things to get checks. And I'm like, I could write my own checks. And that's something I take pride in, is just being my own boss. And
Yeah, man.
when you're able to do that, like you kind of sleep easier at night. You're not, man, where's my next check coming from? It's like, no, I got a party on Saturday, I got a party on Sunday, and I know all the revenue, 100% is going to my pockets, so.
Yeah, that is respect. That is a dream for most people in the music business, as an artist, even a promoter. Like you're a DJ, so you're the talent, and then you're also the promoter everywhere you go, right? And I'm sure you put on and I know you put on other DJs and artists and all that stuff too. How did you get to this point where you could do everything and then just focus on, focusing on it as like your business, right? Because like it's either or usually for most people.
I feel like I was I'll say for my generation, so I'm a lot younger than like the OGs in the game. I feel like I was one of the first guys kind of throwing their own parties, and I don't think it was by choice. I think I was kind of thrown into it when I was like 18 years old, you know, graduating high school, going on to college. I was already DJing, you know, in my neighborhood, doing block parties and little house parties where my friends' parents would go out of town. We were already, you know, promoting on high school level, and then to go do that in college, I always had a mindset that, you know, I would go get a job and, you know, get the
Eventually get a job.
yeah,
It's
you
not-
know, the traditional university route.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was making money at a young age, man. I remember 19, 20 years old, you know, throwing homecoming parties, making $2,000 after expenses, after my split, you know. Man.
So that experience has really helped you get to this point, because it's shark eat shark out here, dude. Like New York is a crazy market, right? Any tips? Because I did one event. I did one major event in New York. I thought it was major. It's not major to you, but like I did an event and there was like 3,000 people over 3 days in 2016 for Team Backpack, right? Like we had a bunch of rappers from all over the world come, and like Eric Adams came to the event. Like I think Mamdani was even like an auditioner for that event. Right, crazy shit, right? So like, it was my first New York event experience, and I literally, like, just dealing with permits, dealing with security, dealing with, you know, I think there's always like some shit going on, and everyone's on high alert all the time. Like you have to deal with a lot, right? So like, I was like, I can't do this in this market. Let me focus on the label side. Let me focus on like the marketing side, and throwing parties. I kind of stopped. I'm going to do it again though. I'm coming back this year with a party in New York. I'm working on it, like, you know, to commemorate that time. But what would you say is like some tips for like throwing events in New York for somebody like me?
I'll say for me, this is me personally, I feel like everybody has a specific thing they tap into because there's so many different types of events. I think for me, community building has been my bread and butter.
Sure.
You could kind of see the people that come to my parties, they fit into certain identities, certain archetypes. And I feel like my community is kind of built around like just the everyday average working class individual. And then there's a little bit of overlap into, you know, you might get a random celebrity pop through or somebody that works at a cool Spotify job or Facebook or something. But I think my community just built around like just people that want to be in safe spaces and
have a good time.
You know, don't want to have to look over your shoulder in a party. You just want to get there, have a good time, and go home and repeat. You know,
that's how do you build a community like that? So you're getting it, you know, the events, and obviously brings together that community in a physical space. How do you keep that community excited? How do you keep that community interested all the time?
I feel like a lot of my events are seasonal, so I'll say in the fall and winter, you know, I'm kind of going on my hiatus. I travel more, but I'm still able to keep people engaged through Instagram with like travel content, vlogging, and different things like that, or like a brand opportunity I might get. It's ways to keep them intrigued in your life because they do see you. I've been saying this phrase for a while, but like in a sense, like I'm partially a lifestyle DJ as well. So people are interested in me beyond the typical nightlife parties. So, you know, I might be in the gym, I might post some content with me and my trainer or something like that. People are intrigued by that. It's about like relatability. Like, I'm not too high and mighty or above the average person to where like they have nothing in common with me. Like I eat, sleep, and breathe just like everybody else. You know, I have certain things that people may be intrigued by that I do. Like I'm into fashion, sneaker culture, traveling. I love going to Tokyo. So it's like when I was in Tokyo, I documented my 3-week journey out there, and I released music and an album around that time. So people are like, yo, I've never been to Tokyo. You know, I come from a smaller town from where I grew up at, and I still have people back home in Memphis that still keep up with me and follow me to this day. And they've never left the country, most of them. So it's just showing people like what can be obtained by just, you know, owning your own business, being a boss, and like being able to make a good amount of money to just live a life of freedom, you know.
Bro, super respect on all on everything that you just said, because like I feel like I've learned a lot, and I'm going to continue learning from you. I'm over here being his IT guy right now. I'm helping him fix and set up some automations, some vibe coding and some automations and some OpenClaw potentially. I don't know what we're doing. We're figuring it out. Like I said, this guy is a dope DJ, producer, artist really at the end of the day, but promoter, independent hustler, entrepreneur, like definitely a model for anyone that's, out there looking to have a creative business and build a creative business in 2026. He's got the U.S. market locked down. Like he's got a bunch of places around the country he goes and pulls up to and does shows and has his own parties at. I think we're going to focus on some international stuff this year as well. A little bit more international stuff this year. And I'm hoping to connect some of these dots. So if you're in India, or if you're in Canada, or if you're in Dubai, hit this guy up and let's book him for a show.
Definitely.
All right, guys. Peace. I'll see you tomorrow.